Hey everybody, welcome to this week's layout update. It's going to be a good one, but it's probably going to be pretty short, just like I've said before, probably turn into 20 minutes, half an hour, but I've decided to do something where I can get some instant gratification to reignite the artistic juices, I guess, if you would, the thought process, if you will, and to give me that immediate gratification. And this is what I'm doing. The painted on mountains or ridgeline has begun. And I'll be working on this for the next couple of days. And then after that, I'll be doing some work in the basement. And you're probably like, Rob, that has nothing to do with the trains. Yes, it does. Because I got all this stuff over here that needs to go to the basement. So I need to get some things finished down there so I can get all this crap out, because I'm about a month out from the open house. So in the next week, there's going to be a lot of cleaning, a lot of prep work to the floor. I'm going to paint the floor and then put up this drop cloth all the way around and hide all the junk that's underneath and all that stuff. But I figured I would show you the wall prior to all the green being on there and all that. So I got to take that light off too. I got a little cover plate for that. What the hell, they even put a spot like that in this room to begin with? I have no idea, but they did. But let me get to work here, and I'll bring you back here in a little bit and show you some more. Hey, so I did a little experiment here. I tried to use my brush and create just a little bit of texture so that at a distance you would get the maybe the illusion of trees or something up there. This is a little area that's going to have a rock outcropping here, some rocks here, and this Allegheny middle and main line here will be essentially camouflage, and then these two pieces of wood will be on each side, and then all the rest of this will be green, and hopefully this little hill that I build between this little section and the Pensy main line here will kind of, you know, create this illusion of depth, but we'll see. Something else I did real quick was I cut out this piece of wood here. This is where Hudson 2 is. I'm on the opposite side of the layout, looking across Hudson 2, but I'm gonna go ahead and put some cardboard strips from here down to here, and I'm gonna create like a mountain backdrop here, essentially, and then put the mine back in. And then all this paint, hopefully all this green paint will create that illusion of you're in the hills, the hollers, and all that stuff. So lots to do. I'm just working with a 2-inch brush right now, trying to get these corners to, I guess, blend in. Still got some wet paint right there, so that's not a spot that I missed. And get everything to look good from a distance. This corner here, I painted so that both green lines are going up just at a slight angle, so that it looks, so hopefully when it's all green, it'll hide this corner a little bit more. Even though there's going to be some cardboard strips and some mountains and trees and stuff here, I'll probably go ahead and paint all this green just so that in photographs from a distance, it will kind of create that illusion. Once again, illusion. I'm going to say that a couple more times, that you're someplace, you know, in between, you know, like a valley, something like that. This is a ridge line and everything. I'm happy the way it's going so far. So just keep on watching. Kind of looks like a bullhead, doesn't it? Okay. So I've been painting for a couple hours. Probably need to do a second coat of paint, but for the most part, get a pretty good idea of what it's going to look like. And from a distance, I think it looks pretty good. I think the corner looks well if it wasn't highlighted. That little seam wasn't highlighted by the light. I think it looks pretty decent. Got this little corner piece here where Hudson 2 is going to be. That'll be all filled in with cardboard and make a corner mountain. Basically where the shadow is on the right side, something like that, coming down with the mine right here in the front. I still got to sand the paint off those tracks, and I picked up some ground throws. So this number, I don't even remember what I named this turnout. Whatever this turnout's name is, the Hudson 2 coal mine turnout or whatever, we'll get a ground throw. Ground throw is going to go up here as well. This in here would just get spiked, and there's one on the main line switch, because when I was at Mike's Trains the other day, they only had a couple of ground throws for me to buy. But I think this is looking pretty good. I think this gives you a good idea of what it's going to look like when you're looking at the trees. You got green through there instead of sky blue. I think it's looking nice. I'm liking it. I'm excited to pour this epoxy for the water. I really want to get that poured before May 17th and everything. So I need to get off my butt and start doing some work in here on this area, as well as a few other spots that I need to get done in the next month. Goodness, I think it's about 10 o'clock. I'm not quite sure. But what you got here, these are those boards I had up, and I was talking about the mountain was going to come off of this. So there's be, cardboard strips coming down so I can make this little hillside here. But this is my proof of concept that the gap will not be noticeable between the wall and this piece of plywood and the mountain or whatever that's going to come out here. I think it's going to look pretty decent. I think this looks like trees. It looks like something. So it's just not flat. So I guess it's just gives it a little bit of dimension, and I think it turned out pretty well. This flat piece of rock, I wanted to go back here, something like this. If I get it stand up, something like that. But we'll see how I can get it to look. I gotta play with it a little bit. I was gonna glue that to the wall, but if I glue it to the wall, then I have to bring the tracks out a little bit further there, because the trains will hit it, and we'll see what happens. We'll see. Not looking too bad. I got some imagination. I can envision it. I had to modify this piece of plywood just a little bit by cutting both ends a little bit. I redid this angle right here. I should have redone that one there, but I forgot. And like I said, this is proof of concept, so I can go back and cut it anyway, or cut it again. I shortened it on this end a little bit because it will bend out and follow basically that strip of wood. And for the time being, it was blocking the track, and it would hit on occasion if I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. I took this all the way over to the door. That's where the curtain is right there, into the back room. And I just did that because I'm not sure what to do over there. But so that's just how I finished it off, instead of having it just, be flat or something like that. I just curved it down. But eventually this space here, there's going to be a rock quarry. So something will be there eventually. Who knows when, but for right now, that's just where I got a workbench sitting on wheels and some shelves and, other things. Let's go over here. Let's talk about this real quick. So once again, proof of concept. I think it's still wet. Oh yeah, it's a little bit wet. So what I'm gonna do with this is I'm just gonna set it behind this rock wall. And the only reason I'm setting it behind a rock wall is because I'm trying to convince myself that when I painted all this green on the top to take away that edge, that when I put that piece of green foam behind here, which is only temporary, but I'm hoping that it will blend in and camouflage that straight edge. So it's just, like I said, proof of concept to see if that will work. And if not, then, I'll just keep adding to it. And, you gotta trust the process. Sometimes you start something and it's a puzzle piece, you gotta keep searching for the right puzzle piece to go in there. Even though you might get one that'll fit, it might not fit quite right. So either way, I'll be working on this week. This area here and the scene back here is a priority. So I will be working on that over the next 2 weeks to get something up. This section here, I will probably wait until after May to start working on that, because I've changed my idea a couple of times on there, and I will probably just do something, temporary, or, probably, sketch out a picture or something like that and say, this is what the future of this location will be. And I need to starting to prep for the operating session. One thing I want to have to do is whatever friends that decide that they want to help me with this that come over, I hope they have NCE controllers to run the trains with, because I dropped one the other day and it is broke. You can't even see the screen anymore. I'm I'm gonna have to send it in and get it something else, or get a replacement, or see if they can fix it, or just buy a couple of more. So that's what I got to do. I'd like to have at least 4 or 5, have some people coming over with theirs, and then everybody can run a train, and we'll go from there. And I will go ahead and shut this off for right now, which for you, just, fade out and go into another section. And I'm gonna get ready for bed, and then tomorrow I will finish doing some stuff out here. But while we're back here, I'll give you this overview, and I like it. I like it. It screams hills and ridge, mountain, and all that stuff to me, and I think it's going to look good. Eventually, that will be around the entire room. This whole section still has to have sky blue and the mount painted on there. This little section up here as well. And then all of this will have the same. And spin around pretty quick. And the back room will as well. So I will show you that. I may paint a little bit of that tomorrow, because I have an idea for a corner back here, and I'll show you that stuff later on. So appreciate you watching so far. Stick around, it gets better. All right, well, this is the next day, about 20 or so hours after Dwight sent me dirty text messages of women and their nipples. That's pretty funny. It's popping up on my phone as I'm trying to film. He has impeccable timing. Okay, so as you can see, there's a little bit of a bleed through from the blue paint. I think it's looking pretty good, though. I need to go back through and hit it again. And I tell you, with the naked eye, you can't hardly see a lot of this up here. That's pretty wild. But on camera, you can see it all. So the camera will find every single imperfection that there is. And I like the way this is looking. I think this is looking pretty cool. I think it gives you that illusion, as I've been saying the entire video, of a draw, an area between two hills where they come together. I just threw some rock stuff down there. I think that's probably where I left it last night. I was probably talking about this. It's been about, like I said, 20 hours since I did all this work. And I even came out last night due to my insomnia and did some work. So I'll go highlight some of that here in just a second. But I like the effect that this is providing to me. I think it looks like you're in a valley. That's where the railroads usually went. And I think it's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy. I like the effect when you look through some trees, even though it's not very thick. There's green behind there, and it once again, that illusion is what we're going for, of a greater amount of trees than what's really there. This little area is going to look pretty cool when it's done. I threw the mine over there just to kind of check it out a little bit. And I'll show you what else I did on the other side. We'll duck under. Oh, my poor back. All right. So when you walk in, you'll walk down this section, and I painted the back of this green. I'll hit that with some brown and black and make it match over here, so that when you first walk in, that kind of hides that mine a little bit. I think it'll give you a 3D effect in a two-dimensional model that you can see from this section. Kind of hides everything where you can't see all the cars that'll be stacked up down here. I think that'll be pretty decent. When you got the trees and stuff, in between, in covering this area here, I believe that will create depth. And once again, that illusion of more track, more ground, and more area being modeled is actually being modeled. And I think this is going to be a pretty cool shot when you stand over here. Once I get that water pouring in, I got all the riprap along the shoreline and all that. I think this is going to be one of my favorite shots. I'm really liking the way this is turning out. A lot going on here, but when you have all the trees and everything that I can envision, the track with the Reading cars on there, the Allegheny Midland Main Line, will not necessarily be hidden. If there's a train there, you'll see it, but if the train's not there, my goal is that you won't notice that there are tracks there. So I think it's looking decent. I got one of my newest projects running around here someplace. You see, I put this big piece of foam up here. I'm going to show you that on the other side. That's a little proof of concept I was working on. But let me tell you what I plan on doing this week. And I probably said this a couple weeks ago, but life happens. I got a pointer around here somewhere. I never can find that damn thing. So this little section, I'm gonna glue them in, and I'm gonna start working on getting this section here carved out. I'm gonna put some cardboard strips down here to create a cliff. I'll secure all this stuff in place, I hope, and I'm gonna get this part here put in as well to hide all this stuff, and then I can start working on this little ridge line up here. And let me go around and show you this. That's a cool shot looking down the yard. I like that. Oh, my back. Ugh. Trying to carry my controller around with me because I set it down, and every time I set it down, there's a problem. Ooh, look at that. That's pretty. So I've been doing a lot of decal work here lately. Nothing here, of course, but I'm just showing you some sights. There's one of my Allegheny Midland steam locomotives. That's one of two I have. The other one you just saw, it'll be around in a moment. I have a 2 Bachmann heavy 482s that will become Allegheny Midland as well. I have 2 Broadway Limited C&O J3As that will become Allegheny Midland. And I have created some new Allegheny Midland diesels, and you'll see them in just a second. Okay, so this is proof of concept I was talking about not too long ago. When I put all this green stuff, this paint, if you will, along the edge to kind of camouflage that, so that when you have a large green area like this foam in the back, it will blend in. Now this has a lot of light on it coming straight down, but my plan, why don't this damn thing focus? What the shit? So I'm hoping that when I can go through and paint a little bit darker green on here, and then when I get the plaster and all that stuff done over here, that this will blend in and hide this edge a little bit more. There'll be a lot, a lot of stuff going on here, but I think when I get to a certain point, it will camouflage it and it will blend in a lot better than what this does here. I had this piece of foam someplace else, but I actually kind of like the lines of it, so I may trace this off on some more foam, or I might just cut this and glue this directly to the top of the other pieces I'm about to put on there, and we'll work with this here. We'll see. We shall see. Let's check out this Allegheny Midland H7 2882, number 974. This is a proto model with a Bachmann nickel plate Berkshire tender. It has a Tsunami 2 2200 TSU 2200 decoder, and for whatever reason, look at that derailed right on camera. What the shit? Oh no, oh no. There we go, the hand of God. And for whatever reason, all of a sudden now it doesn't want to work. It worked before I did some repair work to this locomotive. I touched nothing in the electronics. I did everything to the boiler. I redid some decals, and all of a sudden the sound quit working. And then about 10 minutes ago, when I came out here and fired this locomotive up, it just started making sound again and then quit. And then every now and then it'll pop off with a little bit of sound and then go away. It's one of my new Purina trucks. I don't know if I highlighted that a few videos ago, but I really like that. I think that totally fits this Grand Elevator complex that's just sitting here temporary, but at some point it might be a Purina Chow's location. I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. Not a whole lot. Something else derailed. I heard it. There it is. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off because I ran it around the layout 3 times and I didn't have any problems. What is going on here? Now my control don't want to work. I'm telling you, man, I haven't had any ghost issues this week. But I can tell you what, all of a sudden, when my control doesn't want to work, and locomotives start lurching around, and cars are derailing for really no reason, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to blame on that. But I'm going to say this one here I can debunk, though, over here. So my gate, I think it was last video, I was talking about taking the wheels off, or maybe I did take the wheels off down here. I think I did take the wheels off. I took them off, and you can see the scuff marks on the floor. It fit a little tight, so I undid the hinges on the bottom. I put a wedge in there, wedged everything in place, put the screws in different locations, moved everything over about 1/8 of an inch, and the gate hung a little bit better. Now, for whatever reason, the rails don't want to line up, and you can see right there, they are super tight. That has to do with the heat out here. It's not even really that hot out here. It's like 75. So I don't understand all this expansion and contraction when it's not even hot out. Now, if it's 90, I got it. But, you know, it shouldn't be that bad. So I'll go through with a file and take care of some of that stuff. And something else, when I run my finger over this joint, let's look at it on camera. Can we see it? You can see that they don't line up now. So I got to make some adjustments. That don't look half bad, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So also, oh my God, focusing issues on this thing kill me. I plan on doing some ballast work over here on the Allegheny Midland main line. The Hudson branch probably won't get any ballast yet, at least on this side of the layout. On the opposite side down there by the mines, I can go ahead and start doing some scenery work down there. Got to make sure that I have enough scenery material. And I have this Harbor Freight tool cart, which is about the only thing worth a damn at Harbor Freight, because you're not really using it for a whole lot of you know, intense work. You know, it's not heavy duty work. It's just plastic, and it works great for what I use it for, which is all my scenery material. So I can wheel it anywhere I need to wheel it, and I'm able to. Oh my God, this is what insomnia does to you. So that I have everything readily available, and I'm not wasting time running around trying to find it. I need to clean off my workbench, and then I'll start using this to do some of my scenery work on the removable pieces over here. And I got these rocks that I bought, and they're going to start getting installed in a few spots as well. Let me think here. Oh, let me show you the Allegheny Midland things that I have been working on. I'm going to bring this train around. Maybe that car will re-rail itself, but it will probably derail itself. So let's see what happens. There it goes. A little bit of sound, then it goes away. The sound worked just fine, but the locomotive would move like 1/4 of an inch and then stop. And I did a hard reset on it on the program track, and now it runs, but there's no sound. So I don't know what the hell's going on with it. All right, let's go over here. Here is my new Allegheny Midland caboose. And for you out there who are going to say the white stripe's not right because it's not white, they weren't white. They were like a gray aluminum. So in the black and white photos, they all look white. Everybody thinks it's white. It is not. Pretty happy with the way that looks. The two GP35s have numbers, 610 and 617. Allegheny Midland had 10 on the roster, 610 through 619. I think they look really good. Really happy with those. Detail parts need to go on. I can only do so much because there's no motors, there's no axles, there's no, worm gears, there's no trucks. So I need to find all them things on eBay and buy them and then put them together, and there's going to be beautiful, and I think it'll run really well. 203 and 205, those are two of my RS3s. They will be joined by the 208. Now the 208 has a slightly different paint scheme. The nickel plate had a multi-stripe scheme when they first bought their locomotives at like this. RS3s were no exception, but I did 208 just a little different on the ends. And the reason I did that was because I wanted to show a little bit of transition of time. And the passage of time is easy to reflect in your model railroad by just making a couple of minor tweaks to your paint scheme to show that, they were shopped. They might have been pushed through the shop really quick, and you can make up a little story to go along with it. So number 208 was delivered with a multi-stripe scheme, and it went through the shops. It was needed to be rushed back into service, so they did not paint the front coupler plate, end plate. I don't know what it's called, They didn't paint it yellow to save time to get it out back onto the road because it was needed to make that money. And that is that. Let me check on this train back here. I think it wrecked. It sure did. All right, so the locomotive didn't derail, but the car that came off the track did not re-rail, and the car behind it was totally off the track. So who knows what the hell is going on today? I do not. All right, so I have an RSD12. I've been putting these stripes on. This sucks. I mean, this is a pain. This is tedious. Especially this grill area back here. That took forever to do. The Midland Road decals, you have to cut the little space out between Midland and Road and put them on separately on the K4 decal sheet. I put a high-mounted bell on there, even though Midland Road did not have their bell up there. I wanted to show transition and small detail changes between locomotives and shoppings, and that's what I'm working on right here. So I like that little gold thing. That engineer had a lot of pride. Once you come across the Brig Bridge, no reflection there. Now, these proto models run really super smooth. I like them a lot. I like them a lot. Like I was saying, these stripes are a pain in the butt. But I've been working on this pretty consistently. This side obviously is not finished. The hardest part is getting these stripes level. I think these might be off a little bit, and getting them to all line up on the end stripes. So you got to make sure if you're buying the K4 decals that you purchase the ones specifically made for an Alco, because the end stripes were different. On the EMD version, EMD had a little swoop that kept all the stripes at like 5 inches. Alco didn't do that, and the end stripes are 4 inches, and you can kind of see a little bit of that between that stripe and the one that goes up diagonally on the right. One last run by. As the head end just went by, and you can see the caboose is over here. So I got about 75 or 80 cars on there. These mostly these are roundhouse cars, and they're only weighing about 3 ounces each, so not a whole lot of weight there, so that proto can pull quite a bit. When it gets on that 1% grade going up to the mines and Camp Price and all that stuff, which I haven't built all that yet, tonnage will be significantly affected. All right, well, I think that's all that I have. Well, let's zoom in here. Actually threw some olive drab on that last night. It don't look too bad. That's what it looked like. I'm getting there. I kept a little Kilroy on the back there. I just painted around it. I said, what the heck. When I was in the Army, we had this stuff called CARC paint, and I can't remember what CARC stood for. Chemical agent resistant coating is what it was. And it was very thick, and it had texture to it, and it caused cancer. But we was out there with paintbrushes painting vehicles with that stuff. So if you ever model anything military, the paint job does not have to be perfect. You can have lines in it, because you had some private out there like me doing a half-ass job painting a vehicle that, you know, really didn't need to be painted. They just didn't have nothing else for us to do. All right, that is it. Video should start becoming more regular again. If you have watched my previous videos, you know I'm a fan of the Duke Blue Devils. My boys clutched, lost the game, and that was into my heart stopped just a little bit. Life does not end though when your basketball team loses. You just got to reset and work on next year, I guess. But I was disappointed for about 10 minutes, and then I went to bed, and I didn't think nothing else of it after that. But I was really hopeful they'd win that national championship, all that bragging and everything. But that is life, and if it wasn't for the model trains, I probably would have been really upset by it, but I was not all that devastated. So, like I was saying, videos should start coming out on Sundays and Thursdays again. The open house is in I think 5 weeks, maybe 4.5 weeks. So a lot of stuff's going to get done here. There may be extra update videos. This coming Thursday should be the second to the last video on the Freight House kit bash. I'm gonna put the windows in and put a bunch of stuff together. I'm gonna use the temporary roof until after the open house, so that way there I can have it on display. Drop cloths are going up, trim's gonna get painted. I'm gonna paint the floor if I can afford it. And I gotta get all this stuff over here down to the basement. So I got some work to do. My daughter's coming over tomorrow, and I told her I need her to help me lift some things. She just don't know I'm gonna work the mess out of her because she owes us everything. We gave her life. She can help me for, a couple hours. So like, subscribe, comment, keep coming back, checking out my videos. Go watch some more videos. And come back on Thursday and see what I talk about next. God bless you.